Hello, my All Saints family, and what a treat it is for the first time since March 11th at Wednesday Eucharist to be sitting in a pew in the nave of All Saints Episcopal Church. It's been a long time, and I have had multiple emotions, both of, yay, I get to clean out a closet and read books that I haven't read, to when are we going to ever get back to normal? And then the grief of realizing that it will be different from what we left. Sometimes I wonder if I'll serve at the altar again. When am I going to be able to hug my grandchildren? There are lots of unanswered questions, and sometimes you can get a little frazzled. Thank goodness for prayer and knowing that Jesus walks beside us in love through this whole pandemic. I have to think about my mother, who in the late 1940s graduated from the University of Virginia Medical School and took her first job in a hospital in Wilmington, North Carolina, a polio hospital, at the height of the polio epidemic. Her parents were living there at the time. She was an only child. They were rather distraught that their only child had taken on a mission to nurse polio patients. She volunteered to stay in the nurses' dorm, but being good parents and loving parents, they insisted that she stay at home where they could make sure she rested and had good food. She would say that during this time, if people saw her or if she was riding any type of transportation, they would actually cross the street or move to the back of a bus. They wouldn't speak to her. It was like they were afraid of her. So on Union Street, when I walk sometimes, people cross the street. And I wondered, were they afraid of me? Were they pushing me away? And it was kind of disarming. And then one day I had the most beautiful revelation. I thought, they're doing that out of love. They're loving their neighbor and their stranger. They're telling me that they love me. They want me to stay well. My own children said, Mom, we don't want the grandchildren visiting you. We know you're vulnerable and we do not want you to be sick. Where it was hurtful at first, I accepted it as a gift of love. So now there's lots of conversation of what church is going to look like. Are we going to be able to worship in the nave and come to the altar to break bread? How many people are going to be allowed? What do you do if you have more people show up than your allowed seats? Oh, really good questions. Somebody said, we don't want to hurt anybody. Part of our goals are to be a loving and inclusive church family. My comment is to walk in love with your neighbor, to realize if there's not a seat in a pew when the church opens, it's out of love that we're limiting the numbers. We want everyone to stay well. I want to be well, and you need to be well. This is uncharted time, and we don't know what to expect. What we do know is that the Lord walks with us, that He loves us, and in time, we will be able to go out in public again, be more secure, and there will be normalcy. What I also have seen during this time is the shedding of hope and light in places that were rather dark, broken systems that help feed people, We're now looking at grocery stores that are going up and picking up farm supplies. Instead of throwing them away, they're getting them to food pantries. We're being creative and exploring in love ways to help people and to support them in the name of Christ. So on those bad days, I get out Flat Jesus, and I do something fun with Flat Jesus, and I remind myself that I'm part of a community of Christ, lovers of Jesus, and that there's light and hope and love in all the decisions that we make, that it's not to push somebody away or ostracize them. My mother told me that one of the greatest joys of nursing polio was to go to Wrightsville Beach and to see former patients frolicking in the ocean waves. That will happen to us too. We will see joy come out of this. I hope y'all have a good and safe day. Sending my love. Go in peace.